Welcome back, trainers. Angel of the Night here. We are back again with the Grand Challenge 2025 Part 1, and we are getting into battle number 34. Obviously, I goofed up with my edit there, but we're going to proceed on anyway. There is a Metagross and an Alolan Ninetales on the opposing side, and of course we've got our Amoonguss and our Zebstrika. Now, this is a kind of a lead that we've actually started off with here quite a few times. So obviously we want to do a lot of the Rage Powder redirects, but we have a couple of options here when it comes to Metagross and Ninetales. We can either go for the high horsepower, or we could go for the Flame Charge to boost up some speed. Obviously we went for the high horsepower to take on the Metagross ASAP. However, Aura Veil comes into play, and this is something that I should have thought of, maybe putting some sort of a taunt or something like that onto the team somewhere, so that way those Aura Veils do not happen. Psychic Fangs, of course, coming into play, affecting Amoonguss greatly, down to about 30 HP, and of course we're regaining a little bit of health there back with the Citrus Berry. From there, we do have the option of continuing our attack with the high horsepower, and then of course going for the Rage Powder or even possibly a Spore. We could always go for a clear Smog, of course, try to change any kind of stat changes, but I don't think that really works with the Aura Veil. But Metagross is going to be called back to our opponent, and it looks like they're going to send in Milotic. Now, if you guys don't know me, Milotic is one of my favorite water-type Pokemon, but it's also my favorite because of a very specific strategy. Obviously, I like to use the Attract Milotics that are, you know, competitive and Marvel Scale and all that good stuff. Also, Adrenaline Orbs. Perfect. Here we go. We went for the Tera Water. We went for the Rage Powder. Tera Water, when I look back at this, may not actually be the best choice, just mainly because of the fact of Freeze Dry. Both these Pokemon can actually obtain, and of course there you see it, the Freeze Dry. So that actually is super effective on Water-type Pokemon and just ends up knocking out the Amoonguss. So, unfortunately for us, we actually are down by one Pokemon, while our opponent has still a full team of 4. Next Pokemon that's going to come in here is going to be the Paldean Firebred Tauros. Now, of course, the Firebred obviously is for the Ninetales. The Zebstrika, of course, we might want to go for like a Supercell Slam. If we take a look here, the ability has been activated with the Milotic, boosting up some stats. That's the competitive ability, of course, and not good for us, really. It's just going to boost up the stats of that Milotic and cause some havoc here. We're going to go for the Supercell Slam, but we got to remember that they are under the Aura Veil here. Barely holding on, looks like by about maybe 5 to maybe 10 HP, maybe. Looks like they have a weakness policy, which actually continues to boost up the special attack of that Milotic. Raging Bull coming in, not able to knock out the Ninetales, but I'm assuming it's because of the Aura Veil. The Raging Bull, of course, did finish that off, and we do lower our attack stat by the attack the Ninetales just did. Looks like we are losing our Zebstrika here to the Milotic, basically doing a widespread move. Next Pokemon coming in is going to be our Maushold, and of course we have the family of 4. I don't really understand the whole 3 and 4 scenario. If someone has any information on that, it'd be fantastic. But anyway, we are going to lock in for our attacks here. Obviously, we probably are going to go for the Population Bomb here with the Maushold. Milotic, of course, is going to be withdrawn. I don't really understand why, but I would assume that, you know, this probably makes more sense now, seeing that the Incineroar and the Intimidate comes into play, further lowering our attack stat onto the 2 Pokemon on the team. Okay, here we go with the Population Bomb. It is doing its job, however, it's not as powerful as it was prior. Our attack stat, of course, did get cut, but, you know, we did manage to hit 10 times. If it wasn't for the Intimidate, I'm sure we would have been able to finish off that Incineroar. Raging Bull, of course, coming in, finishing off the Ninetales. And Ninetales is now down now, which is great because that is one of those Pokemon that is just there to cause problems. They could have also set up another Aura Veil as well, which would have then furthered the issue with this team. So now we do have the ability to go in for the attack here again onto the Incineroar, and then of course the Raging Bull into the Metagross. But however, there is the Bullet Punch, and unfortunately picks up the KO off onto the Tauros. So Tauros unfortunately is down and out. We are left with one remaining Pokemon, which is the Maushold. We've locked in for the Population Bomb and managed to get the Incineroar out, which is awesome. So that means that we have now knocked out 2 out of the 4. And now we are left up against Metagross and the Milotic. Now remember, Milotic is hurting, of course, so if we do manage to get Milotic out, we are basically left open to be hit by this Metagross. And Metagross is one of those big, bulky Pokemon that can manage to take hits, but also as well dish out some major damage if needed. So we did lock into the Metagross here to try to take out the Metagross as soon as possible. I felt like at the time maybe we would have been able to survive a hit from the Milotic. But here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, and as you can see, this is not looking good for Maushold. We are not able to do enough damage to this Metagross to be able to take it out. As you can see, he has survived very well. We managed to hit 10 times. Alright guys, so that is probably going to be nearing the end of the battle. They do manage to get a Draining Kiss off, which actually regains some health to the Milotic. Here's the Body Press. That is just going to destroy Maushold. But if you guys enjoyed the battle there, you know what to do. Go ahead and give it a big thumbs up, post your comments down below, and I will catch you guys in the next battle. Peace out.